graduate, and I am the current athletic director here. I'd like to welcome everybody to the post-game press conference. Here with us at the table, we have a few of our players. We have Coach Bevel, and here in the room, we also have Mr. Clark, our school president, and Mr. Bevel, a little later, is going to introduce some of his players and his coaching staff. I just want to take a moment to welcome all of our alums who have come back to share this evening with us. Today was a very special day here at Bishop McNamara. It was senior day, it was homecoming, and what a fantastic day that all of our students brought us, especially our football players. And so for a moment, I'd just like to thank all of them for a wonderful, wonderful victory today. Next, we want to hear from Mr. Bryce Bevel, our coach. But before we do so, I just want to state a bit about Coach Bevel. Coach Bevel is in his 9th year of coaching Bishop McNamara football, and he has secured over $3 million in scholarships and aid for his football players. Coach Bevel was a 4-year starter at Syracuse University. Played 3 years professional football in the Canadian Football League, and has authored a book titled Total Focus, along with our Mr. Roland GRIMES here, so we want to certainly recognize them for that tremendous accomplishment. Also, Coach Bevel heads the Total Focus Youth Development Corporation. The corporation is designed to enhance youth development with academic skills, training, spiritual, and character development, and physical condition. After Coach Bevel gives his analysis, we will acknowledge other football coaches and have a question and answer period. So once again, I'd like to welcome everyone to the 5th quarter, and we will hand it over right now to Coach Bevel.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson, President Marco Clark. Really appreciate it. Great introduction, Mr. Johnson. When you were speaking about when you started talking about wonderful things. Just talk about the game. First of all, you got to look at these young men to the right. That's what it's all about. They did a great job today. You're looking at 3 young guys who are also leaders of the football team. And it's just fitting for those young guys to come out and have the game that they had today. And up in the middle is Brian Redmond, senior offensive lineman, defensive lineman. You got to give him a shout out and please give him a hand clap. A big part of that over his 3 years on the varsity. Mr. Redmond has played every position on the offensive line. He started off at center, he played tackle, he played guard. He makes most of the line calls this year, so everyone looks toward him. He's the grandfather of the offensive line, so we got to check him up for that. Then to my immediate right, we have Marlon Crook. What more can you say about a student athlete like this young man? We're talking about a young man who's already committed to a great university of Florida. He's a 3.8 GPA. He's one of the kids who is definitely a leader. He always plays his all. He just does everything you want a young man to do. He's a great example for him to have the day that he had today with 2 sacks and numerous quarterback pressures. He missed one. Came underneath, we'll talk about that if we have school on Monday. But you also got to thank the furthest guy to my far right, Jordan Crockett. He has had a tremendous football season this year. This young man, for his first year being on Boston, please give him a hand clap. 3 touchdowns today. That just goes along with his total that he had all year. This young man has had over 800 yards receiving. I want to say in my 9 years I haven't had a receiver that goes over 800 yards receiving, and he still has a game to go. So again, that's someone, again, a student athlete that does just an excellent job in the classroom and out of the classroom. He's a 3.4 student. He was class president last year. I asked him why he didn't run this year. He just dropped his head, so I expect him to run next year as a senior. So we got 2 seniors and a junior who are a big part of this football program, who are leaders on and off the field. They do it academically as well as athletically, and that's what Bishop McNamara football is all about. You're going to go down the line and you know, to be honest with you, we had a disappointing season as far as wins and losses. But if you look at the young men that we've created, helped develop in this few short 9 years, we have done an excellent job. So to judge us for the young men that we put out into this community, we're number 1 in this area by far. Of course, it's been disappointed, you know, with the wins and losses, but I've said time and time again, I would trade wins and losses for the work of these young men, and what they're doing when they get to college, and what they're doing when they get out of college. We have some alumni here that I just blows my mind. That what they turned out to be, these young men. That Daquan Mills came back. We always got to say love to Daquan Mills. Earl Harris is here. Have 2 guys on staff, Joey Moore, along with Ed Tyson, those guys that I've coached. So we're talking about a community and developing young men, and that's what this is all about. That's what's most important to me. So we can go back and forth with wins and losses, and honestly, I trade that for what we're doing right now. You look at these guys to my right, look at those guys that are in college and what they've done. That is why we're here. We're here to develop young men. We're here to set that foundation. That's what it's all about. And we do a great job of setting that foundation here in this community with what we do, with how we combine our athletics and academics. There's no school like it. And I wouldn't trade where I am for nothing. And this is where I want to be. This is God sent. And I appreciate and thank God every day for the chance I get up to walk, put one foot in front of another, come through these doors and deal with each other and women. That's what it's all about. So thank you, young guys. We just want to say, give you guys recognition for what you did today. So you guys can go ahead now and get ready for homecoming tonight. Again, Roland does want to say something, so we're going to give him a 2-minute time.
I just want to say something to my parents while they're here. Just thank you for supporting me throughout the season. Like every year that I played football since I was little, just thank you for being my number 1 fan, always being there, help me whenever I need, running out midnight to get stuff for the game the next day. So I just want to thank you for always being there for me. All right.
Let's beat the map.
There we go. Thank you, Mom and Dad. And let's beat the map.
It's great to see their minds already going to next game. Celebrate this one and get ready for the next one. That's what it's all about. Now I want to turn it over to Mr. Clark.
Yes, we do want to also recognize that there will be a time for questions. So if there are any questions that are to take place now, we will take questions before we turn it over to our President and CEO, Mr. Marco Clark. Are there any questions that you guys have for the panel for Coach Bell?
Coach Bell, what would you say is probably the number 1 or number 2 things that you would have to do in order to beat the master?
First thing, you can't beat yourself. We're talking about a team that's very well coached. We're talking about a very talented team, so we have to eliminate the mistakes. The second thing you have to do in football is all about running the ball and stopping the run. You have to be able to run the ball That's very important for us as far as beating the Bama. So not making mistakes and being able to beat them.
Coach, after 5 straight losses, what did you guys do today that helped you come out and get the W?
We played well. It's real simple. We were able to run the ball. We were able to complete some passes early. We cut down on the mistakes and we cut down on turnovers. So whenever we were able to cut down on the mistakes and cut down the turnovers, it's a good solution to get the W. And again, you're looking at probably one of the most difficult schedules we've played here at Bishop McIntyre. You know, the council, Willis is undefeated. The council has 1 loss. Looking at Gonzaga, 1 loss. Tom St. John's have 1 loss. So you're looking at a very tough schedule. You look at every ball game, to say the least. And we just 1 or 2 plays from actually having the record being flipped.
How would you describe the play of the freshman quarterback?
The question around the room was, how would Coach Bevel describe the play of his freshman quarterback, Mr. Romar Williams?
It has to be some history on that. I had a chance to see this young man play last year as an 8th grader, and the same demeanor, the same poise, the same intelligence that he displayed last year as an 8th grader, he was playing this year as a 9th grader. You're talking about someone with an IQ that is very, very high. And whenever you have an IQ, a quarterback with an IQ that high, it makes your offense run a lot smoother. He's put us in plays, giving us a chance to be successful. And that does great. That helps us out. And, I mean, in high school, you want to have consecutive positive plays. And he's understanding and learning to manage the game and getting consecutive positive plays. And he did a great job today. And then also with his scrambling ability, he's able to keep plays going without our receivers to stay open. He's still young, he still makes some young mistakes. But you got to be able to live with that. You take those mistakes for the upside that he brings. He's going to be probably one of the best quarterbacks in this area. I had a chance to play with Marlon Graves. I had a chance to play against Marlon Graves in high school, but I played with him for 4 years at Syracuse University, and he was a Heisman candidate. And I want to put any pressure on this young man, but his demeanor and how he plays reminds me so much of Marlon Graves. And I've been saying that, for the past, 5 or 6 weeks. He's a phenomenal talent. And the best part about him is his demeanor. I haven't seen him get upset, and I haven't seen him get, Tito get too high with the highs and Tito with the lows. In that quarterback position, everyone looks at that position as a natural leadership position, and he has that.
Are there any other questions for Coach Bevel?
I've been to other games this year, and the team has played a phenomenal first half, but then come out kind of flat in the second half. Today, they played the whole game. Did you say something different to them at halftime? What happened today where they showed up for the game?
I was a guidance counselor at my previous workplace, and coaching is like teaching, and you have to change your lesson plans to fit your personality of the team. And what we did this past week is we practiced doing situations. Instead of doing a normal play script, we practiced doing situations. So we practiced 3rd and long, we practiced 2nd and 10, we practiced getting big plays and being able to come back from big plays. And what we have traditionally done this past game that killed us in the second half is we're gonna come out and we're making a big play, and then we'll follow that up with offsides, and then we'll follow that up with a loss. And so now you're looking at the 2nd and 17 instead of the 1st and whatever. So we practiced that, and those guys were able to, it was more game-like situation. And by doing that, we were able to carry on in the second half and make some plays. Good question. questions, and we'll turn it back over to Mr. Johnson.
Okay, if there's no further questions, we'd like to thank Coach Bell. I'd like to ask Coach Bell to please stick around. He's going to be able to introduce his coaching staff a bit later. Right now, we do want to hear from our president and CEO, Mr. Marco Clark.
Thank you all. Can we give a big round of applause, please, to Coach Bryce Bevel? 9 great years at Bishop McNamara, and very hardworking. Very hardworking what he does. I'd also just like to offer a couple of other thank yous. You know, to my immediate right is Mr. McNamara himself, Tony Johnson. Tony celebrates his 20th year. Is that right, Tony? 20th? His 20th year working on staff faculty here at Bishop McNamara. A 1988 graduate of Bishop McNamara, Mr. Tony Johnson. Thank you, Tony. It's my pleasure to work alongside this gentleman. I always say there is no place like Bishop McNamara. And those of you that are coming back for the first time today in a long time, did you feel that spirit out there? You know, you've got the pep band and the cheerleaders and the dance team and our student crazies in the bleachers there with their chest painted BMHS. And we even had some 1973 championship team guys back with their jackets on right over here. Thank you guys for returning. So in my job, I shake a lot of hands and kiss a lot of babies. I think I shook hands with graduates from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Really very exciting for us to be here today. And, you know, I just want to take an opportunity to recognize some of our current Hall of Famers that are in the room. So those of you that are our current Hall of Fame, and I don't have a list in front of me, but I'd love for you to just kind of wave out for us so we can see our current Hall of Famers, because I'm going to introduce the new Hall of Famers in a minute here. So Chuck Roland, Tony Romano, and Ed McNamara, 1973 championship team, Billy Krug, and Tioga Jackson, Mark Williams, Mike Smith, Keith Miller. Hey Keith, somebody told me today that Jordan Crockett, number 4 for us, is the most prolific wide receiver in McNamara history. I said, you know, you didn't see Keith Miller play back in the day, right? That Boston College Eagle went on to do pretty well. What's that?
You're missing 2 people.
There's 2 others? And those guys, and I think there's some young guy named Brandon Coleman who might be signing an NFL contract playing for Rutgers as well. So, who else do we have in here? Other Hall of Famers. I hope we didn't miss any. So the reason I like to point out who those current Hall of Famers are is because I want to announce to you who the new class of Hall of Famers here at Bishop McNamara is. So those of them that are in the room, I'm going to ask you just to wave to the crowd, and you're going to have an opportunity to attend their induction ceremony, which takes place January 19th. Okay, January the 19th. I'll give you some details on that in a minute. But from the class of 1971 at Lorraine High School, Margie Fox. So congratulations, Margie Fox. I don't think Margie's here with us today. From the class of 1988, he's enjoying a little vacation with his wife right now, but basketball great Quinn Harris from the class of 88 will be inducted. Also from the class of 1988 was one of the best football players in the history of this school, went on to the University of Alabama, where he started for 4 years. He started for 4 years and won a national championship at Alabama, and that's Steve Buskey. So congratulations, Steve Buskey. And from the class of 1989, I see big Bill Edwards is standing over here. Billy Edwards, so thank you for being with us, Bill. Bill cleared the way for a lot of great running backs in McNamara history. And then as well, we're going to be inducting the 1976 wrestling team, the 1976 WMAC Wrestling Championship team, and the 1990 WMAC McNamara football team will go in as well into this Hall of Fame. So congratulations to all. Congratulations to all. As we finish this out, the thing I want to say first and foremost is just to express my gratitude. My 16 years at Bishop McNamara has been an amazing time. This is a place that truly does touch people's lives. We gather together with moms and dads to work on shaping the young boys and girls that come to us and they leave as men and women. And you see a great testimony of that with the people that are in this room, those graduates that continue to come back and support us. And as I look at this current senior class, right, people like Kendall Pace, heading off to Columbia University, Ivy League school, playing football at Columbia University. That's a testimony to seniors on this football team that have already committed. Is that right, Coach Bell? Something along those lines? There's 5 that have committed, 7 out supporting us. And again, just a big round of applause for our winning McNamara Mustangs today on homecoming. Thank you, Coach.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if there are no further questions, we'd just like to thank all of our families, all of our alums for coming out. It really means a lot to us to have so many of you here in the room, to our current players, to our former players. We just want to say thank you. Happy homecoming to all. Thank you very much. For Mr. Mark Williams. Mark, we say thank you, sir. And before you all leave, we're going to turn it back over to Coach Bell. He's going to introduce his coaching staff that's here with us right now.
The guys that are in the room starting from the back. We have our inside linebackers coach, Coach Marco Cooper. Outside linebackers coach, Coach Tyrone. Someone who has helped redevelop over the years since I've been 14 years old. I played with him in high school, also played with him in college. Defense coordinator, Mr. Darren Hawkins. Strength and conditioning coach, and also wide receiver coach, Coach Eugene. Corners coach and great recruiter, best recruiter in the area, Coach John. Big time alum, he's always been around, Coach Dave Bill. Another McNamara alum on staff, Coach Tony Romano. Another recruiter is on the JV staff, led by Mr. Roland guy, Coach Ron Chapman. The rookie coach is mentoring the outstanding quarterback that we have here. Played quarterback for us with the school and ended up playing wide receiver also. Coach Joey Moore. That is the staff. Again, thank you for coming.